What is up, everybody? Today's video is going to be about the 1.01 to the 1.06 in 1QB formats, Dynasty leagues. What do we do with the 1.01 to the 1.06? Who are we picking? What are we doing as far as trading those picks? What are the value of these picks? I did miss my first round rookie mock draft 1QB. Go check that out. I have the whole first round there so you can see where I'm at with this first round and where I have these guys being drafted. Before we get into this video, guys, do me a favor there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you do play Dynasty Fantasy Football. But let's get right into it. All right, guys. So the 1.01 to the 1.06, this is how I kind of have it falling in these 1QB leagues. Bijan, JSN, Jahmyr Gibbs, Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, and Zach Charbonnet. Now, Bijan's going to be the 101 no matter what. Now, if you have the 101, you are going to be drafting Bijan unless you are in, a start 10, start 11, start 12, and you need to rebuild your team because Bijan does not help you at all. In that case, you can trade Bijan, right? What is he worth right now? It could be worth a 2, 3 first round picks plus. Um, so depending on what you need on your team. Now, if this is a 1QB league, you're most likely going to need wide receivers here. So if you do not need Bijan, you can come off of Bijan. Maybe move down a little bit. Maybe take the 1.3, the 1.2, the 1.4 on top of another first round pick and or player on top of that. Can you get 2, 3 first round picks for Bijan Robinson? You're going to have to shop around and see what that 101 is worth in your particular league because every league is a little bit different as far as the values. And again, the format matters as well. If you are going to be coming off of Bijan Robinson, who is a first round startup pick, we need something elite at another position. We need, a JJ, a Jamar Chase. You need something like that, or you need multiple assets. You need to break it down into multiple assets. So if you got the 1.02, I like JSN in this area. So if you are going to make the pick, I do like JSN here. You can go Gibbs if you need a running back. I'm not opposed to going Gibbs if you absolutely need a running back, but I just like the value. I want to go with the more sure thing that I feel like is JSN. So I'm taking JSN at the 1.02. Now, if you don't want to make that pick, if you want to trade out of that pick, again, can you trade out of that pick, break it down into multiple assets? If you do need to rebuild, can you pick up 2 first round picks and a piece on top of that? Can you move down to the 104, the 105 and pick up an extra first round pick? The 1.03, I've got Jahmyr Gibbs that comes off the board here. What do you do now if Bijan and JSN are off the board? You go with Jahmyr Gibbs, or you can try and trade out of this pick. Again, we're kind of looking at the same thing like we were with the 102. We're looking for an extra first. We can move back, grab the 105, 106, and grab an extra first round pick on top of that. Do we go after a player and a pick? Do we move back and grab a player on top of that if we can? So these are moves that you're trying to make if maybe you don't like Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe you want a more proven player so you can come off of that 103 in that instance there. Now, after the 103 in these 1QB rookie drafts, I'm okay with trading this pick from here. The 104, 105, 106, and on. I'm okay with trading these picks. Kick it to 2024, kick it to some different assets or players that have some upside because you are going to be taking a risk with Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, Zach Charbonnet, all the rest of these guys here. You are taking a little bit more of a risk. So after that 101, 102, and 103, I'm perfectly fine with jumping out of this draft and trying to piece together something else that you need for your team. So when at that point that Quentin Johnson and Jordan Addison is still on the board, who needs a wide receiver? Who's looking for a nice young wide receiver? Can you go and get a more proven guy at that point, or can you get some more assets of that 104, 105, 106? I just don't have all the confidence in the world in Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, or Zach Charbonnet, or anybody that you put there really after the 101, 102, 103, whoever you have there. I'm just not really that comfortable with making that pick if I don't have to. If I can move off of that, get more assets, or get a proven guy, I definitely want to try and do that. Can I trade the 104 or the 105 and a piece to go and get the Olaves, Londons, Garrett Wilsons. Judy's another name that you can throw out there. T. Higgins. So any of these guys you can try and get if you are in this position where you do have that 104, 105, maybe that GM is getting some of this rookie fever. T. Higgins, perfect example. I mean, a guy who has Jamar Chase across from him, maybe that owner's a little bit sour on him and he wants to go after one of these young guys. So, take advantage and try and come off of the 104, 105, 106 and get a more proven player in that 1 QB format. Or again, split that down into some more assets so that you can build. 'Cause even though Quentin Johnson has that crazy upside, he also has a low floor. I mean, the body catches do scare me. There's a chance that he busts. There's a chance that he does become the next DK. I mean, obviously different outcomes that can happen. Jordan Addison, is his height, is his weight, is that going to affect him? It didn't affect Devonta Smith, but is that gonna be different for Jordan Addison? These guys don't always churn out. They don't always hit. So, we have to be careful, especially in Dynasty, and we have to make the decisions where do we go after one of these guys we're kind of unsure of? Do we take that chance or do we try and cheer up? Do we try and use that pick to trade and get somebody more proven or somebody that you believe in more than any of these other guys that are coming out? Let me know what you guys think there down in the comments. The 101 to the 106. Do you have any of these picks? Are you going to make this pick, or do you need to come off this pick? Do you want to get some more assets? Do you want to go after a player? Let me know down in the comments what your plan is. If you do have the 101 to the 106, what is your plan? Who are you trying to go after? Are you just content with making the pick, or are you trying to make moves? Are you hitting up other GMs? Are you seeing what the market is for these particular picks? So let me know there down in the comments, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe if you do play Dynasty Fantasy Football. But stay tuned for the next video. We'll be going over the 1.07 to the 1.12